This is a video telling you to stop using AI, but it's also a video telling you what to use instead. I know there are people in the TTRPG community / industry that think they have to use AI for XYZ reason, and they're wrong on all fronts, and I'm going to share other tools to use instead. But before that, introductions. Hey folks, my name is VJ Harris. My pronouns are they, them, he, him, and something funny. I'm a full-time tabletop role-playing designer and professional game master. You might recognize my name from things such as MCDM Productions, Arcadia, Flea Mortals, or an Elfinor Cat Little Baby, volumes 1 through 4. Okay, introduction done, let's get back to it. Hey folks, if you're watching this video, you might have seen the other videos where I talked about different tools to use instead of AI. If you have, then you've already heard this spiel I'm about to give. If you don't want to hear it again, go to the description and skip to the section after the why you shouldn't use AI timestamp. Now, before I talk about other options, let's talk about why you shouldn't use AI. There's the obvious reason: it's stealing from artists and other creators, and people who are using said generated art are using it for their own financial gain, as seen by all of these AI generated covers for the DMs Guild. But maybe you don't care about that, so let's talk about people's physical lives. It poisons people. In South Memphis, Tennessee, a neighborhood called Boxtown is paying the price for the AI revolution with every breath. This historically black community, founded by formerly enslaved people who built homes from discarded railroad boxcars, now faces a new threat: massive gas-powered generators installed by xAI, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, that are poisoning their air. It exploits labor. Tech companies that have branded themselves AI first depend on heavily surveilled gig workers like data laborers, delivery drivers, and content moderators. Startups are even hiring people to impersonate AI systems like chatbots due to the pressure by venture capitalists to incorporate so-called AI into their products. In fact, London-based venture capital firm MMC Ventures surveyed 2,830 AI startups in the EU and found that 40% of them didn't use AI in a meaningful way. Far from the sophisticated sentient machines portrayed in media and pop culture, so-called AI systems are fueled by millions of underpaid workers around the world, performing repetitive tasks under precarious labor conditions. And unlike the AI researchers, paid six-figure salaries in Silicon Valley, corporations, these exploited workers are often recruited out of impoverished populations and paid as little as $1.46 per hour after tax. Stat blocks, monsters, a quintessential part of a lot of TTRPGs and definitely D&D. One would argue you cannot have a D&D game without stat blocks. I'm not going to argue that one way or the other, but it's definitely something many people would agree with. Because they are such important facets of TTRPGs, I know DMs everywhere want to get it right, and using AI does anything but that. So I'm going to give you some alternatives. They will be broken down between this will generate stats and abilities for you, and it's a database you can search. First up, we have Donjon's M20 Random Monster Generator. I'm not gonna lie, this one is pretty bare bones. It'll give you the name of the creature, its hit dice, and HP, the AC, and one attack, plus any other extra abilities tied to the attack. You can make weaker or stronger skeletons of monsters by lowering or raising the number of hit dice. This is particularly useful if you have no idea what you want to make and just kind of need something to help your brain flow. Next up, we have Monster Shuffler. This one's name is misleading in my opinion because it's not a monster shuffler. It lets you edit monster stat blocks and generate NPCs. You can just press generate and have a stat block for an NPC, but you can also make specifications to get what you're looking for between class, level, abilities, etc., racial traits. Finally, in this category, Random Monster Generator, Beta, which I found on Giant IT forums. I don't know how to pronounce that properly, guys. Sorry about that. Now, this one is different from the others because it does require you to download something. I know, downloading random programs from the internet, not safe, but I did it and I can tell you it was fine. So pretty much what happens is you download the zip file, and each time you want something generated, you run the exe, and the output is an HTML file. I've generated 3 HTML files linked below, and each one has been close to 300 pages worth of stat blocks. Now, you're going to have to go through them and check them out and see if they do what you want them to do. They've seemed mostly solid to me, but I haven't gone through all 900 pages. Okay, technically not finally, I guess, an honorable mention is Giffyglyph's Monster Maker. I'm mentioning it because there is a section in this Monster Maker when you're on the quick start part instead of the manual side called traits. If you click on select traits, it brings up a pretty big list of abilities that could be useful for monster creation. One more honorable mention, DnDNames has a Lair action and legendary action generator, which is not a whole stat block, but it will give you abilities for part of one. Okay, the next option is a database. There's a subreddit called r/monster-a-day where people create stat blocks and upload them for free. You can type in what you're looking for and see if anything pops up. I forgot something, the last database. Can you call it a database if you can't type in specifically what you're looking for, but it's 5e which has a bunch of monsters from a bunch of different sources. My understanding is for the most part, stuff that's on this site is part of an open gaming license, but if you have plans to use it in a product or something, you're going to want to double and triple check that. And while you can't directly search a name like Mind Flayers, you can search based on CR, size, and type. Oh, if it's not working in your regular browser, try using incognito mode. It worked for me. The darker option. Look, we aren't going to get into my complicated feelings about piracy in general, but also specifically in regards to TTRPGs, but I am also not going to ignore it as an option to combat the use of AI, because at the end of the day, stealing TTRPG monster books from bigger companies specifically that can afford you to do so is in no way comparable in regards to the damage caused by using AI. No TTRPG book thief ever poisoned the air or drinking water of predominantly minority towns by their theft. Now, there are a plethora of monster manuals. Flea Mortals does sting a little bit to tell you to steal something I worked on, not gonna lie. All volumes of Tome of Beasts, the Creature Codex, and much more. I have grown to hate the term the lesser of two evils thanks to our political climate, but in this regard, it really is the lesser of two evils. And if you truly can't find what you're looking for, pay somebody to do it. Hey folks! This is where the shameless plug comes in. I'm a professional TTRPG designer, and I've worked on a number of products or for a number of different companies. Monster books, monster creatures, monster stat blocks specifically. MCN and Productions, Flea Mortals, Draco Studios. I'm all over the DMs Guild, and I want to make TTRPG monsters for you for a pretty affordable cost. Now, mind you, these are all non-commercial rates. If you want to use my stuff commercially, streams, TTRPG products, etc., that's going to be different. $5 for 0 to 1/2 challenge rating, $10 for 1 to 6 challenge rating, $15 for 7 to 12 challenge rating, $20 for challenge rating 13 to 19, $25 for 20 to 25 challenge rating, and $30 for 26 to 30 challenge rating. It comes with redrafts based on the tier and money off if you want me to make derivatives, such as Drow Matriarch, Drow High Priest, Drow House Warrior, etc., etc. But that's it, folks. See you next time. Peace out.